Hi, my name is Tim, and I'm forgiven. There are major differences between liberalism and conservatism. We need to illustrate these differences very loudly, very clearly. To me, the difference between liberalism and conservatism is as plain as day and night, and I think it is to everybody. Not only is it that plain, the difference is like right and wrong. Now, you all liberals are going to fly off the handle when I say that your ideas are the difference between what's right and what's wrong, and I expect you to. But if we divide this down to what's right and what's wrong and get rid of what's wrong, I think you'll find that conservatism is standing and liberalism is gone. Now, it's everybody, give or take. There are bad people out there. There are mass murderers out there. There are people who would steal you blind while smiling and patting you on the back. These people exist. But as a rule of thumb, everybody has sympathy and concern and care for people who have struggles. But if you concentrate on that, you will never concentrate on assuring that you and your family will reach above and beyond that. And if you feel self-pity, if you feel worthless, if you feel like it's a major struggle that you can't overcome, you won't. This is the nature of the struggle of life. Life is a struggle. When you get in your head that life is only a struggle for you, that's one of the most liberal views that you can have. It's one of the most self-motivated, selfish, and I know you think that it's two different classes. There's two different classes. There's those who are selfish and arrogant and criminal and have all kind of money, and then there's the class that you belong in, that they're not selfish and they care and they have a struggle and life's against them and they have nothing. It's a struggle for everyone. It's a different kind of struggle, and there's different levels of struggle. But there's one thing that I know for sure, and that is the more you put in, the more you get out. If you work long and hard hours, if you study to be the best that you can be, to change your way of thinking, to learn, to use wisdom, it pays off. It always does. I have a friend who has a job at a major corporation, makes a major salary. And, you would think at some point in time, as you climb this ladder, at some point you reach a plateau where all you do is just watch the little people. This is what people think. This gentleman has worked his way into a spot where all he does is work. It's what you do. It's what happens. And you could throw it all away and say it ain't worth it and join everybody else who just wants to, be couch potatoes. Now, I'm guilty as I am about my success. The harder I work, the more I work at my success, the more I have. The more I get out of life, out of the things that I'm doing. The more I loaf and whine and cry like everybody else, the harder it gets. Just the nature of life. Now, these people that work 14 hours a day, there might be some of them that look down on the rest of you piddly people who don't want to work, but there's probably a lot of them that say, I'm not special. I got here with the same tools, the same opportunity that's available to you. Now, you can look at life and say, it isn't fair. And you're right, life isn't fair. When the gene pool is thrown out and everybody gets their gene pool, they don't have, they can't be selective. It comes from their forefathers. We inherited our genes and our DNA and our makeup. And then we're raised by people we don't choose to raise us. And sometimes that's bad. And sometimes they're poor and they leave us poor. Sometimes they're rich. Sometimes they're good looking. We gotta quit with this class envy. It's wrong. This is the difference between conservatism and liberalism. Conservatism looks at you as a human being. Liberalism looks at you as a poor peasant. And if you don't understand this, the difference between the elites in liberalism and the difference of the peasants in liberalism, the peasants will always be leeching from the elites, and the elites will always have plenty, and the peasants will always be just that shy of poverty. It'll be worse than that. And they'll think, oh, these wonderful people are giving me what I got, at least. It's pathetic. And the more they leech, the more it's going to take you to have a survival level that's pleasant to you. I'm not in the loop. They're making my level of pleasantness harder and harder to achieve. And this is the time that kings would live for. And not the opportunities alone, but the lifestyles, the availability of just enjoyment that has never been in the history of the world. There are things that are available to you if you're in poverty that are above what kings had. Now, they may have had gold, and they may have had, soldiers and that's not even relevant. I'm talking about the world is just so opened up to us as peasants. Liberalism will keep you the peasant level your whole life. And conservatism will say, look, I'm not special. It's a simple equation. You put in, you get out. The more you put in, the more you get out. The more you work with your back, the more you get out of it. The more you work with your head, the more you get out of it. The head is far more profitable than the backbone. So you go out there and shovel 14 hours a day, you'll make a living. You go out there with your head, you learn, you know, and you understand. That's the difference. And these people, these corporations, have understandings of things that we can't comprehend. That's why they have the jobs and we don't. Go down and try and run an automobile manufacturing facility. It's not tiddlywinks. It's not 5th grade spelling. It takes a lot of experience and understanding and knowledge, history, and you get it from putting in your time. You go home from work and you sit down and you watch sitcoms, or you go home and you read books and you listen to people and you get on the internet and learn things. There's two different things. You're going to benefit from what you are sowing. If you're sowing sitcoms, you're going to reap sitcoms. It's hard. That's the difference. You want to be a liberal, you be a liberal. You want to be a conservative, move on up. Get out of the wrong and into the right. Making all kind of people angry. Shouldn't be. God bless you.